Okay, whenever you're ready, I'm good to go.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't going to bother you, so I was going to do this, but look
Right
over
here. Look at the counter and state your full name for the judge.
Jacob. Oh, sorry. Jacob Bartle.
Just give me a moment. The state is alleging one charge against you, which is a driving on a suspended, revoked, or canceled driver's license. That is the criminal offense, and then there's one civil traffic offense of having no insurance on the vehicle that was driven. So we'll be talking about the driving suspended violation. What I would like to do is, instead of scheduling back to court another day, is to get your permission to appear by video and waive your personal appearance, and we can go into an arraignment, and I'll take a plea from you. Do I have your consent?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the driving suspended, revoked, or canceled driver's license is a Class 1 misdemeanor. That is punishable with up to a maximum fine of $2,500 plus surcharges, 6 months of jail, and or 3 years of probation. What I can tell you is that there is no jail time on this case. So whether you plead not guilty and go to trial and are found guilty, you're not facing jail time. Or if you plead guilty or no contest, you're not facing jail time either. Your options are to plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. A guilty plea means that you're admitting you committed the crime. A not guilty means that you're denying the allegations made against you. And then a no contest plea is you're not admitting or denying, but accepting a conviction. Both a guilty and a no contest plea show as a conviction on your criminal history. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have the right to have an attorney also. You can hire an attorney at your own expense if you choose, or you can ask the court for a court-appointed attorney. If you do, there must be 2 qualifications. Number 1, you must not be able to afford an attorney. That's a financial questionnaire that you'd have to complete. And secondly, a mandatory good cause. One reason for a good cause is an example of jail time, but since I informed you there's no jail time on this case, that removes that cause to give you a court-appointed attorney at little or no cost. Your third option is to waive the presence of an attorney in its entirety. Do you understand those 3 choices regarding the attorney?
Yes, sir.
All right. What do you wish to do regarding the attorney? Waive the presence of an attorney, hire an attorney at your own expense, or provide the court good cause for court appointed?
I want to waive it. No,
Okay.
no lawyer.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll send you a waiver of personal appearance, what we talked about, to do this by video. On the same form, it'll also have the attorney waiver form information. So that'll require your date, today's date and signature from you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I reviewed your plea options with you. Do you have any questions before I take a plea from you?
No, sir.
Okay, so you understand that you can plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest, and what happens with each of those?
Yes.
All right, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
All right, I'll enter your guilty plea. We'll move forward into sentencing here in a moment. There's also that one civil traffic violation that is a responsible or not responsible plea. If you plead responsible, I'll impose a sanction on that insurance violation. If you plead not responsible, I'll schedule a civil traffic hearing for you at a later date. Do you understand?
I want to plead responsible on that too.
Okay. I'm going to enter a responsible plea for that violation, and that'll be added to the sentencing once we get to that portion. Now what I'm going to do, sir, is inform you of the rights that you're giving up by pleading guilty to that criminal charge, okay?
Yes.
First off, are you on probation or parole?
No.
Okay. By pleading guilty, you're giving up the right to plead not guilty and require the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up the right to have a trial in front of a judge. You're giving up the right to have the assistance of an attorney at all stages of the proceeding, including appeal. That's what we talked about with the attorney waiver form. You're also giving up the right to confront witnesses against you and cross-examine them as to the truthfulness of their testimony. You're giving up the right to remain silent and to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up the right to present evidence in your own behalf and have the court compel your chosen witnesses to appear and testify free of charge. And you're also giving up the right to a direct appeal. I want to also make you aware of possible collateral consequences with the guilty plea. And that is a possible suspension of your driver's license, an impact on a commercial driver's license or other professional license, an impact on your insurance rates, the revocation of probation or parole, an increased penalty for further criminal charges, becoming a prohibited possessor if convicted of domestic violence charges, and if you're not a citizen of the United States, a plea or finding of guilt may result in your deportation or being denied citizenship or reentry. Further on your citizenship is Rule 17.2 states that if you're not a citizen of the United States, pleading guilty or no contest to a crime may affect your immigration status. Admitting guilt may result in deportation even if the charge is later dismissed. Your plea or admission of guilt could result in your deportation or removal, could prevent you from ever being able to get legal status in the United States, or could prevent you from becoming a United States citizen. Understanding each of those rights that I've just explained to you, you wish to waive all of those rights and enter a guilty plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to review a factual basis with your case that I'm going to collect from the complaint that was issued. This is what you're pleading guilty to. That on April 27th of 2026 at about 3:11 p.m. you were contacted at or near milepost 252 on State Route 87 by the Gila County Sheriff's Office. In that police contact, it was found that you were operating a motor vehicle on a public roadway while your license was suspended, revoked, or canceled, and also that you had no insurance on the vehicle at the time, and you are pleading guilty today and responsible for the civil penalty. Those offenses occurred in Gila County in the jurisdiction of this court. Does that sound consistent, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Regarding your guilty plea, are you making that voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Nobody forced, threatened, or harassed you to make that plea?
No, sir.
Did anybody promise you in your lighter sentence or punishment that if you pled guilty, you'd receive it?
No, sir.
Okay. Court will accept your plea and finds that you made it knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently. I'll be sending you this plea proceeding. It'll have my initials going down the left column. Those are the rights that I just reviewed with you that you're waiving with your guilty plea. That requires your signature acknowledging those rights being waived. Do you wish to give any statement to the court before I impose sentencing, sir?
No, sir.
All right. All right. Are you currently employed?
I am.
And what do you do for work?
I'm like a taxi driver, like Uber.
Okay. All right. So is it full-time or kind of hit and miss?
It's part-time because I'm in college right now.
Okay, so you're taking college classes as well?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so here's the insurance file. I want to talk about the insurance violation. It's an expensive violation.
Yes, sir.
And I looked you up. You have some prior insurance
do.
violations and prior driving license suspension. So that's a $940, $45 fine. If you're able to get insurance within 30 days, 6 months or more policy on that vehicle, and a 39-month driving record that does not show any prior insurance convictions, I don't know if you have those on your record or not, then that will
I do, so it's probably not going to lower it.
No, it will not. Yeah, it will
It'll
not.
probably go up if you've seen my driving record.
Okay, yeah. So, so if you provide that to the court and there are priors, it can enhance the penalties. So, okay, that imposed penalty is $945. The driving suspended, revoked, or canceled is $484. Is it possible you can get your license back?
I believe it is. I
Okay.
believe it is if I get a SR22.
Okay. Yeah, and
That's
that's
what the DMV told me. I'm
okay.
pretty sure. Yeah.
All right. All right. So, like I had mentioned, there's some priors there. So, what we got to do is not have you drive anymore. Okay.
Yes, sir. Until I get my license.
Yeah, until you get your license back. So, with this penalty, what I'm going to do is put you on a unsupervised probation term of 11 months. So, what that means is you don't have to report to anybody. You just need to remain law abiding. If you commit another criminal offense, the consequences of this case can come back, okay, and be enhanced and increased. If you go through the 11 months of being not committing a criminal offense, then that probation will end, okay? So
Yes,
no
sir.
more driving suspended or revoked or canceled. I'm also additionally going to assign 20 hours of community service to you to do, and you'll have 30 days from today's date to get that done. That's I'll provide you nonprofit organizations to do that work. You need to. We'll give you the form. You have to have it turned in by the date that's on the form, which is May 29th, and have those people sign that. Here's what else I'm going to offer you: is once you do those 20 hours, you can continue to get more hours if you want, since you have these fines building up at the court. If you want to do more community service hours, then after you turn those 20 hours in, I'll reassign and you'll get credit for $16 per hour of that community service that you're doing, okay? And then that'll help you get these fines down,
Yes, sir.
okay? So
I appreciate it.
yep, all you got to do is ask and you will receive, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I've got on here, complete the first 20 hours of community service. That's not going to be attributed to the fines.
Yeah,
After that and thereafter, I'll let you work as much as you want, as long as you're consistently doing it and getting it done in the timelines. You know, we can stick to the 20 hours. I know you're a student and you're doing part-time, so we don't want to overload you. You know, passing grades are important. So see how that 20 hours works for you, and if that's a comfortable amount and you want to do more, then you just have to ask, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, there's a jail fee of $69 that's due for the incarceration, a court security fee of $35.80. On this case, we have a total balance of $1,533.80. What we'll do is just add this balance to what you're already paying to the court. Are you up to date on your payments?
I am not.
Okay, so when you get out, you might want to, if you're able to come up with $25 or something, do you know what your payment plan is from before?
I don't. I don't know if I can do a different payment plan, if you wouldn't mind.
I can reset a new payment plan. The court minimum is $25. You want to go with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to schedule your first payment of $25. Is also due on the 29th of May, so you got 30 days from today's date.
Okay.
So two things are due: the 20 hours of community service and the $25 payment. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I did have to add a one-time payment plan fee of $20 that to set this in place, so it's a balance of $1,553.80. I'll get this over to you. It requires your signature as well. This is called the judgment and sentencing form. Do you have any questions about anything that we talked about?
No, sir.
All right, so just make sure that you make your payments timely. When you get released, I plan on releasing you out of custody. Just come over and talk to them, come over to the court and say that, hey, he reset my payment plan. I want to make sure that this is all consistent with the other cases, so they don't send you a warrant on the other ones for not paying, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you don't have any questions, that's all I got for you.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
On that one.